everybody. Welcome to Creative Moments. I am Theresa Brooks. I am your creative guide this morning. I am still trying to get all of my fancy doodads set up, so give me just a moment. I keep thinking I'm going to get better and better at this. It's quite possible that if I started or did it once a week, it might be easier. And I want to go back to fluid painting this morning. I am still babying this. I love it so much. It is the messiest thing I do because I'm pretty much a messy artist. But if I have time and I can get through this, I want to share two things with you. So wait around till the end when I talk about these beauties, okay? We're gonna sit these to the side. Hope that little plastic plate doesn't break. I want to talk about creating something like this. I actually have, it's still wet because I just poured it this morning. And I really like the color scheme. I like the black background. I call this my broken back. Because in my head, I see a skull right here, the brain stem coming down, and then I see just fractured vertebrae going down. So this is a black background. I put gold and white, and I did what we call a Dutch pour. I had shared a picture of one that I had done before. I'm being a little bit more adventurous. I just wanted to see how a small one would do. And this is actually harder to do on a small scale than a big scale. So this is what we're going to play at this morning. So I have my canvas, and one of the things I added to my I have a Lazy Susan under here because I kept finding that I wanted to pick up and turn the piece of artwork around, and so I've just added a Lazy Susan. So I'm going to put my cups, which are going to create that lifting so that all my paint can drift off. I got my table covered in plastic. Let's see if we can get this set up. Now the problem is these may be too big. Okay, that will work. So I have my canvas. Now, I have discovered that I have not been working thin enough. And I really need my pouring medium to be thin. So I have added a little more water to it. And then I've got to stir that up. When I did it this morning, I found that my paint did not move the way I wanted it to because it was too thick. And excuse me, but I'm going to have to stand up so I can get over this. I don't know if you can see in the cup how thin that is. I need it to pour, but I also need it to still kind of stick to the canvas. So I'm going to pour this on here. This black does have silicone in it, and it wants to create cells black on black, which is not really what we want. I'm going to spread it just a little bit. And I don't know what's up with this black, but man, it just wants to bubble up. So when you stir it, you store in bubbles. So I'm going to be really wasteful with paint this morning just so that y'all don't have to watch a whole lot of boring stuff. So we're going to cover this. Now, The pouring medium can be any kind of acrylic paint that you have. It can be tube paint, it can be craft paint. You mix that basically to a 1 part of your paint to 2 parts of your pouring medium. That can be an acrylic pouring medium. It can be the Floetrol, which is not really a pouring paint medium, but it is a additive. It's a paint conditioner. We've got this on here. We need to make sure we get the canvas totally covered. This is messy, folks. I'll try to capture as much of this paint as I can, but for y'all, I'm just not gonna mess with it. So I'm gonna pick up some of this paint, get my corners. I don't know if you can tell, but because I have silicone in there, it's already wanting to create some cells. It's wanting to come off of the edges a little bit. Okay, this is for demonstration purposes only. So I have this black covering everything. I'm gonna try a little bit of a different color scheme than I had. Because it's black, I want the colors to pop. I have a new color that I haven't worked with. It's like an espresso. It's almost like a bronze. It's really pretty in the cup. It really shines. And I'm going to dribble that down the middle of my canvas. And this is called a drift. It's like a seaweed. I don't know. It's a beachy turquoise blue. I'm just playing with color here. I'm going to also put this down. I think I need to start going off the edges of my canvas instead of trying to stop in the middle. So you just dribble a little bit of that down through there. It can go right on top, either side of what you've already done. Now see how I got that kind of over there? I'm not real happy with that. I don't really want to have that color there. This closer to here might not be so bad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to move that over. We'll see. Okay, so now I have my background. I have my color palette in the middle. Now here's where the fun starts. A hairdryer with this attachment on it. Okay, this is specifically for this use. This is not the hairdryer that I use on my hair. We are going to direct the paint with this hairdryer. Now, this is where I'm quite likely to get a little messy. And it's going to get a little noisy. So for a moment, I'm going to tell you that you probably aren't going to be able to hear what I'm saying, but I want you to watch the magic that's going to happen. way too much in the middle of this thing. I think I'm going to add a little bit to see if I can bring back this color here in the middle. I think I really like this color palette. As you can, you can still see that I am such a novice with this handling of the blow dryer. I can go back and, anyway, it's going to get noisy again for a minute. Okay, that evidently was not the thing to do, so I'm going to pull out my handy dandy straw. So see, you can get some really cool effects just with a straw. If you have a big canvas, you kind of get tired of blowing through a straw. I don't think that's too bad. Let's do this right here. Okay. So that is how you do these, this effect, this Dutch pour. Sorry, when I get really into it, I stop talking. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one alone, but I'm going to move it. It's going to get messy, so I'm going to move it off camera so that I can show you something else that's pretty cool. So, give me just a moment. So you can see if you have a big canvas, you can do some awfully creative designs. I'm going to show you one other thing that kind of goes hand in hand with this technique. I thought I had another canvas unwrapped, but I don't. So, put that in just a little bit. So, I'm going to do this kind of quick. I actually dripped black into my white. I'm trying to get that out of there because we're going to go with a white background for this. So we're going to pour our white on here. Same method. We're going to flood our canvas with white paint. It's going to be a little bit, it's already got a little bit of that black in there. This is not, I don't know that this is going to be pretty. Okay, we're just going to go for it. I got more white and black paint mixed up, and I'm not going to need it for what I'm showing you this morning. I really want to inspire y'all. If you go to, you can go on YouTube, and you can find all of the information that you want, or you could ever, you will get overwhelmed. Okay, so we have the white right there. Now I'm going to do kind of the same thing that I did. I'm going to, kind of mess this around a little bit. I'm going to put some of this pink in here. Ooh, man, I should have stirred that up until that started drying out. I mixed up paint this morning. Got some green. You can see cells are already starting, they're already popping up. Why not put purple in there? Just make it a confetti. Okay. Then I kind of showed y'all this, well, I don't know that I want to put black on there. So we're going to do a swipe. I don't see my swiping tool. I probably already messed this up. So we're going to improvise and we're going to blow it again. Okay. Parts of it are lovely. I have messed up this little bit right here, but you can see how blowing that around, I've got cell separation, but say that I don't like this right here. I want to change this little bit. I'm going to show y'all a balloon, a balloon burst. So you just take a balloon, and these, I blew these up probably way too much. And you can put that in there and smush it, and it creates this right here. Also makes it a pretty effect. Now if I want to, you know, like I can create these blossoms all over the paint, kind of, you know, pick another location with my balloon, press it down. There's a lot of paint in that area. There's not that much paint there. Just to get some cohesiveness, we're going to do it again up here. And you can see that it kind of makes a different effect where that is. Now you can even do a balloon swipe, and that would be like where you would lay your balloon down and you would just do that. And you can create a swipe. And these are all the things that you can do with this fluid paint. Like if you get to a point where you go, I'm not real crazy about that, I'm gonna hit that right there. Not doing it any favors, obviously, but if you take your time, you assess your composition, because you do have a composition. You've created a palette of colors. You have decided what methods you're going to use, and this is a lot of fun to do. Now, of course, you got a messy balloon. You got to figure out what to do with. So, I promised that I would talk about the rocks before we end. So, once again, this is going on camera. Now, I really need to emphasize, I talked about this, when you get that look in the way that you want it to look, you need to dry those flat, because if they're not flat, all that paint will shift and it will change your design. So, going back to the rocks. If you have a little bit of paint left over, you could even scoop up some of this. I plan on this paint drying and then peeling it off to use as a skin. Take your rocks. I want to get some bigger rocks. These are small. Paint it white and do a pour over it. And the way that you do that is you pour. I thought I had enough green to pour. It's not going to pour. We're going to pour some pink in here. We're going to pour some of this bronzy color in here. And actually, you kind of want little thin layers. I'm not doing a very good job of that. I want some of that color. I'm going to put some white. Come on, stick. Some more purple. And I really want green. I love green. I love this springtime green. I'm going to scrape that out and get some green in there. It may not show up, but we're going to do that. And maybe a little more white. Okay. Now, I'm going to do an X in my cut. So, just that way and that way. Okay? In order to create a stand for my rock, I have crumpled up foil. I'm going to put that down there. I have another one. Let's see. I need another primed rock. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take this cup, which is called a dirty pour. We've layered some colors in there. We've put an X in there to kind of create a little bit of mixture in the cup. And then we're going to slowly pour this over our rock. This would be fun to do with kids, but personally, I think it's fun for me as a grown-up. I love I know there are those ASMR things that people watch that have, that sensory where you're watching, I think watching this paint come out of the cup, I think watching the paint flow on the rock. This is all very soothing for me. The only part that's not soothing is me having to clean up my space. But if you're just doing rocks, you can be a lot neater. And every rock is going to be a little bit different. See, this one's got a lot more pink because that pink was at the bottom of the cup. There's not much blue. So, you let those dry, and then you can spray them with a glossy sealer. You can varnish them. You can poly seal them. They're a little bit hard to do a resin on them. But anyway, I hope you had fun today. I hope you had fun watching me make a mess. I will get to all the comments. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Have a great day. Have a great week and be safe. Love you guys. Bye.